What a year 2021 has been. This year has been full of ups and downs and more adventures than I can count. I've completely changed my way of life from the beginning of the year to now, and I thought I would kind of share an overview of my year with you all. I often film a little bit too much and have a lot of clips that just don't make it into videos, so I've kind of popped them all together into an end of year 2021 overview with lots of clips you haven't seen before. I've really enjoyed going back through my videos and just remembering things that I'd kind of forgotten I'd done, looking at my year sort of in its entirety, and it's been really good. It's been fun reminiscing, reminding myself about adventures that I'd sort of forgotten about already. And I feel like this might have to become a yearly tradition. Back in January, I was living in Glasgow, had just left a job I'd been working in for almost 3 years, and was busy trying to pack my flat up to move into my wee van. During a lockdown, of course. I soon realised the freedom this life would bring when I wasn't stuck working from home when the snow hit Glasgow, and instead I was out enjoying it. In early February, I moved into Silver just in time for the coldest week to hit the UK in decades. An excellent start to van life. Luckily, I do love the snow.
So that's my van this morning, a little covered in snow, just defrosting so that I can actually drive somewhere. I think the snow worked as a bit of an insulator, so I was quite happy with that. Slightly less frozen windows condensation this morning than yesterday morning. And yeah, she's noisy because my heaters are going so that I can defrost her. It seems to be getting some kind of charge from my solar panel, despite the fact it's February. Hopefully.
In March, I met Steve and Charlotte and spent a day tree planting with them, as you do after you start chatting to a stranger in a woodland car park. This awesome pair own the adventure photography company I then worked for during the summer. All of this tree planting was done under the careful supervision of the boss.
There's a little tree in there.
I'm not really sure that lighting myself this way is going to work. We just came out for a little pre-bed wander and a little warm up because it's... Why is it cold again? I feel like we had a week of summer last week, so now I'm confused. Sure for a second there that I heard someone, but I don't think there's anyone. And the light's on me, it's really hard to tell.
But no, I'm good. I'm just, as you do, go for a little wander in the woods and beside a lock before bed. It is cold. You can see my breath. But it's also beautiful. There's like a half moon. So the water looks stunning, and I don't think there's any way for me to capture this, but I thought I'd share it with you this way instead.
Just as spring seemed on its way at the end of March, we hit another cold spell going into April, which meant more frost and snow. April also meant an easing of restrictions, so I finally made it down to England to see family.
So I thought I was going to get a sunset, sat watching it, and it's disappeared into the clouds. It's now snowing, and I've just come to England, and it's snow. It's ridiculous. I might go back to Scotland, except my nephew's not there. This is what happens when you open your boot before all the snow has melted.
Between all the ups and downs with the weather, it was really the start of paddling season for me, making the most of any warm days to head out on the water. In May, I headed back to Scotland and enjoyed the freedom to roam further by covering a crazy amount of miles and also taking a friend on a Highland adventure. June started the summer off excellently when I landed myself a totally awesome freelance adventure photography gig, which also gave me an excuse to spend even more time around the water.
Yes, this is possibly the weirdest rubbish I've found in front of the lock. I'm not sure what the story is there. It appears to be a cow of some sort.
I'm just out for a paddle on Loch Morlich and it's pretty windy, so it's been really hard work. I usually, when I start, I paddle like into the wind, the most challenging direction, so that the way back is always easy and I never get stuck somewhere running out of energy. So I've just wedged myself. I've gone like across the other side of the loch from where I started and wedged myself in amongst some rocks to take a little short break. And also because it just looks awesome here. The light reflecting on the water and then onto the rocks, the like patterns it's making are super cool, and I just love it. And it's also a spot that there's no one around because it's windy and I'm across the opposite side of a big loch. Loch Morlich is Scotland's fourth biggest freshwater loch, I believe, and it's pretty quiet today. The mountains around it just look absolutely incredible, just amazing.
So this is a little spot I'm wedged in. That looks really cool. And then it's like cliffs up there. It's quite, well, I can see the bottom here, but it's reasonably deep. The rocks drop really sharply, so good place to wedge in. So you do want to make sure that you have a good reference point when you go out for a paddle, just in case from the other side of the loch it all looks the same. It's fine. I know at which point on this side I need to move and paddle straight across to hopefully not end up paddling back up the loch if I overshoot my mark. So I'm just trying to find my spot on this side, which I should find momentarily. Sometimes the only thing you can do after a few days of very, very hot feet in smelly shoes is to soak them in some nice warm water with some tea tree oil. It smells good. And hopefully they will smell good afterwards too. Mm.
July was a bit of a weird month for me with a lot going on, and when I'm feeling overwhelmed, I like to go hug a tree and rebalance in nature.
This is what I call Scotland saying welcome home after I've driven up from England today. Silver is parked down beyond those trees somewhere.
Most of August was spent on, in or beside the water, working and also having fun. It turns out those two are not mutually exclusive.
You know it's been raining overnight when you open your side door in the morning, and there's quite a deep puddle that was not there last night. Whoa, I'm getting wet. Cool.
I took things slower at the beginning of September with some mellow chill time after the busy summer. So I'm not really sure if this is going to come out, but there's like a line across here, and then I can get it in focus. Let's zoom in a bit. There's a spider hanging just there. Oh, it's actually got a whole web under there. And just a really thick line across the top. That's kind of cool. Hi guys, I'm lying down on the job. He's put out my hammock because parked somewhere by some trees and a lock, and it seemed like a nice idea, and I'm just chilling out waiting for a friend to come along. We're gonna stay here the night and have dinner together and stuff, which will be cool. And I was gonna film some stuff, but now I feel like sleeping might be a better idea. I'm all snuggled up now. My friend's gonna have to wake me up when she gets here. I also finally cleared out my storage unit, which felt amazing and gave me a whole other level of freedom. October brought the start of leaf crunching season, something I've loved since I was a kid. It was also another month of roaming around and exploring between some weekends of work. There's something about rocks these days that I guess, I don't know, it just seems to call to me. I don't know if it's from the summer jumping around on rocks everywhere, but I'm literally like walking along a sandy beach and then there's rocks everywhere and I just have to climb them, even though to some people they probably look a little big. Probably not to actual climbers, but I've never been a rock climber. Ooh, it's worth it because you get to see cool things. November came with some of the most stunning sunrises and sunsets I've seen, since May at least. I spent some time volunteering, discovered a wonderfully random radio, and started my Etsy store. I spent the first couple of weeks of December getting ready for my first craft fair, which meant less adventures than usual and some slightly achy fingers. Once that was over, I headed on down to England to see family, and of course make the most of being by the sea, somewhere a little warmer, by going in it rather a lot. Thank you everyone who has followed along my adventures this year and supported me in any way, bought from my Etsy store, popped a little like on something, a thumbs up or anything like that. It's very much appreciated. I cannot wait to see what adventures 2022 will bring, so subscribe and stay tuned to see what I have planned and also where I end up. Catch you all next year.